Hey, what's going on? This is E. Jones.
Your boy Black Elvis.
We here live at bottom to the top of hoops,
Yes,
baby.
sir. We back.
Hey, Happy New Year, my brother.
Happy New Year.
Yeah,
Happy New Year.
2020, man.
Yes, sir.
We're here to do the year in review, Al.
Absolutely. Well, mid-year, right?
Well, yes, mid-year. Yes, that's you know what I mean. That's why you gotta have your co-host
Yeah,
on deck.
come on, man.
So look, man. We want to talk about what the focus is: New York City high school basketball. Want to just recap the first half of the year, some of the highlights. Maybe some of the lowlights.
Yeah, lowlights.
And just some of the surprises, man.
Gotcha.
So let's start off with who's been the player of the year so far in New York City basketball. PSAL, CHSAA, private school, everything. Preps.
Come on, let's go with, I gotta say, E.
Who?
Khalil Brent.
Oh, we go with ISO Fam K. Congratulations. Round of applause for Khalil. All right, man. So what makes you say that he's the player of the year, and why did you give him those honors?
First things first, we got a chance to interview him.
Okay.
When you interviewed him, he was very articulate.
Yeah. So you're a little biased?
I'm a little biased.
Okay.
Because I got a chance to meet him.
Yeah, great kid.
But then he talked with so much confidence and zeal, like you could feel him. And then he went out and dropped the 40 ball.
At the City Legends Invitational. If you missed that, I don't know what you were. So Khalil gets the MVP awards for the first half of the year.
For the first half.
First half of the year. Believe he's averaging something like 34, 35 points a game. He corrected me and told me he's averaging 7 assists, some rebounds and some steals, and they're winning.
Yes, definitely. Who would you say is runner-up? Let's give a runner-up. I'm gonna leave that on you.
I would have to go with probably a tie between R.J. Davis and Posh Alexander. So it's the year of the point guards, man.
Yeah, it really is. New York,
the
point guards.
The little guy is dominating New York City high school basketball. Posh is, and the thing about it is no disrespect to Stepanak, because I know they go out and they play people, but Our Savior Lutheran's schedule is a monster.
Yeah.
And Posh is doing it at a very high level of competition after not playing for a whole season with a shoulder injury. So he very well could easily be player of the year.
Got you.
But Khalil Brentley came out of nowhere, so I'm okay with giving him that. But RJ's killing it too, obviously. Signed in North Carolina, so looking for great things out of him. And I do think he's going to do well. A lot of people were questioning if he should have went there. I think he's capable, and he's showing this year that he's ready to take Stepanak back to a city championship. So moving on, I'm going to take the coach of the year. I'm going with Peter Wade Jr.
Gotta get that to him. Let me say this. I thought about the coach from Brooklyn Collegiate. They undefeated. You interviewed him. It was a great interview. He's a real humble dude.
So if you want to get some honors, come on the show, basically.
Come on, stop it.
All right.
So, I look at the big picture of things.
Right.
Last year, they didn't do that well.
Well, they did well. They didn't win a championship. Well, they had a good season.
Well, when I say do well, he said in the interview he was looking for a championship.
Okay.
So
he didn't meet a standard.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And then what's the point guard?
Majesty Johnson.
Majesty also said nothing less than a championship.
They did that as a quote.
And they 7-0.
Yeah.
8-0, excuse me.
Yeah.
Because they won that game at the Invitational.
Yeah, and they won convincingly over Wings.
Oh yeah, they blew them out.
Yeah, so they're steamrolling, they're going downhill. Majesty's leading them. They got a great contingent of players. Got a young freshman there. We'll talk about him later.
Okay.
So we're going with Peter Wade.
Okay. Great choice.
They're playing in the grind session. They're playing in a great Atlantic Conference that has some great talent, including Putnam Science. They've gone on the road. They played in Kentucky. They've played in Colorado.
Wow.
They're traveling around. They're basically looking for the smoke.
Can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Why are they saying New York basketball down? Go to OSL, man. It's not down.
I think Al, when Mike Hugo was on the show, he was just talking about how kids were leaving the state.
Exactly.
And when you look at, Kadari going to Syracuse and Adrian Griffin going to Duke and RJ going to North Carolina, Dylan and Posh going to St. John. how much more you want from a state? These are kids who are committing to high major schools. Not all of them play in New York. We got a lot of good ones in New York this year, and we got a good junior class. So just wrapping that up about OSL and Coach Pete getting that Player of the Year mid-season, I feel like it's very difficult, and I forgot who I spoke to about this, but it's difficult to get that many talented players
to gel together
to play into the team. And Tennessee Prep is a good team, and at the City Legends Invitational, OSL, man, they did a number on them.
Smacked them.
Yeah, and they did it unselfishly. Posh got the MVP, had 17 assists, I believe.
17 assists.
Didn't even score a bunch.
Yeah, man, that was
and it just showed the type of leadership and the way they're being coached. They play for and with each other.
I seen that.
Selfless basketball.
Yeah.
And you got 8 Division I players minimum on that team. Minimum. So I liken it to Calipari.
Okay.
And you can say Duke and whatever school gets a bunch of one and dones. You get all of these kids who were the man at their school, and then they got to come in and buy into his team system, buy into defense, accountability, academics, all of those things. That's a tough job for a coach.
That's rough.
So
egos.
It's hard managing egos, man. And I'm sure it's not easy. If you spoke to Coach Pete, you probably have some sleepless nights. But on the surface, from us on the outside looking in, doing a fantastic job. Kudos for
shout out to Pete.
Yeah, Coach of the Year. So,
Charles Jones.
Yes, Charles Jones, definitely, man. Great staff, my man Trev over there. They do a wonderful job. Coach Ray, Coach Dwayne, they're putting it together over at OSL. Now, I'm gonna take this one too.
Okay. Now you're D-balling me.
You know what? I'm gonna give this one to you.
What? Come on.
How about the surprise team of the year?
Woo! I wasn't prepared for that one.
Hey, how we throw it back? I'm gonna say TMA.
Shout out to my man D. Wash down in Washington, man.
Yeah, Abdul, Torrance, man. So they came to City Legends, played against boys and girls, a very tough boys and girls team.
Yes, definitely.
Obviously, they got the 40 ball, Khalil Brantley, but
they got that W.
And you watched it.
Yeah, no, we filmed it.
Yeah,
it's
filmed
all
it.
documented.
But so what did you see?
I seen them playing as a team. It looked like they were being coached.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like that coach pulled it out, even though it looked like boys and girls might have had a little more talent.
Yeah.
TMA still pulled it out.
Shout out to Abdul, shout out to D-War, shout out to Philippe, man, they do a good job over there. And they got 2 kids that don't get a bunch of pub.
Okay.
BJ Easley and Kevin Dinkins Jr.
Okay.
Those kids are talented players. Definitely scholarship level kids, and some of the scouts that were there, they talked to me and said, hey man, it's a good team and these are 2 good players, so I think that, those kids are gonna get some exposure if they keep winning.
Yeah, definitely.
So, freshman of the year.
Freshman of the year, I gotta leave that to you, E.
I'm going with Jameer Tripp. Jaleel Tripp's little brother for Brooklyn Collegiate, 6'5" freshman. Obviously they're undefeated. He was a kid who transferred from Nazareth. So they got him kind of by default. And what a
tiny left, right?
Yeah, and what a great addition for them to be able to get size, skill, and to have a kid like that for 4 years.
That's crazy.
Brooklyn Collegiates, and they're in a good space.
Yeah, they're looking good.
They got some good young talent, so they look like they'll be good for years to come. So Malcolm talked about, building it.
Yeah, he did. In his interview, he talked about it.
And he talked about wanting to have 5, 6, 7 Division I players, and right now he's got at least 4 or 5.
That's beautiful, man.
And this kid Tripp, man, very much like his brother, strong-built kid, really skilled, plays within the team system. He's playing a role now, but I think in the sophomore year you'll see him kind of bloom and blossom.
You know who I was going to say? The freshman from TMA. He hit a big shot in that game.
The lefty.
Yeah, he hit a big. And literally, I'm just walking by, and Jason, shout out to my man Jason from PSA. He says to me, "Oh, L, that's one of our kids too." I'm like, "Word, no funny thing, wow."
Yeah.
Wow. I'm talking about major time in the game.
Yeah.
To win it.
Timely baskets.
Very timely. Yeah. So shout out to the freshman from TMA, man. I see great things ahead for you, kid.
What was the game of the year?
Game of the year. It's a couple, It's a couple, man. But I mean, I thought that Stepinac St. Raymond's game was huge.
Oh, now let's talk about that. Because that's what, let's just go with that. Because that was the game that I was going to pick as well. So.
And we didn't discuss that.
No. So Stepinac St. Ray's overtime game. St. Ray's is up, I believe, like 5 with a minute to go or something like that. Kid from St. Ray's goes into the camera and said, "This is over." Very premature.
Wow.
RJ comes down, hits a 3. And I was talking to Malachi a little bit on the interview about, you know, how his energy level and his enthusiasm. Because if you know him,
that when you spoke to him about that.
He's a laid back kid, but you starting to see the alpha come out in that game, man. He was really demonstrative, and you could see he had something to prove.
Well, I mean, how could he not? He's going up against a kid who's on his way to North Carolina
with 75 plus Division I scouts there.
Come on.
It was loaded. It was the game of the day. It was after all of the hoopla with the prep schools and Juju and Posh. It came back to New York, so shout out to Munch for putting that together that way. And Jason and the staff at PSA. It's almost like he had that extra pop, and he was doing it on the court. I think he had a 30 ball. RJ might have 40, but I don't remember what the numbers were. But they played neck and neck. It was a well fought battle. And if you know the history, those kids played together at the Gauchos for Tommy for a really long time.
So Tommy's he been doing this thing for a long time, man. Shout out to Tommy Swinton.
Yeah, took his talents over to Kyrie Strickland.
That's what he did.
Yeah, man, and they haven't missed a beat.
Nice.
They played in the City Legends Holiday Hoops Classic, and they won it in convincing fashion.
They took it.
So, but just with respect to that game, you saw the cream rise to the top. You saw Griffin make plays down the stretch. You saw RJ. You saw Malachi. And big shout out to St. Ray's for having such a great season without having arguably their best player there. Gary Grant had surgery.
Wow, I was wondering where Gary Grant is.
Yeah, he had surgery, man. He had some complications with his leg. I believe that he's going to be back before the season's over. You know, our prayers and thoughts are definitely
and this
with
is
him.
The senior year.
The senior year.
Wow.
Senior year.
Wow.
So we want him to have a speedy recovery. And somebody that we looked over, man, Louis Cartwright. He got the MVP at City Legends.
He did.
He did get the MVP, and he had a big game in that game. Dunks, threes, mid-range. I think he's really helping himself early on in this season.
Yeah.
Because he's just playing his way into a higher level and showing what he can do on the big stage. St. Ray's been playing a lot of showcases too.
Okay.
So, I mean, any other thoughts, man? I think we covered a lot of stuff.
Yeah, as far as the mid-season, I would have to say we've covered player of the year. I mean, mid-season player. We covered the coach.
Maybe.
What about team? Gotta go with the team.
Man,
that's rough.
Oh man, what you say?
I ain't never been a passer. I've been a shooter, but I got to pass.
I'm passing that back.
Let's see. Come on, let's think. You know, I gotta go with honestly, and I know we be looking biased here, I know it.
Okay.
And we're not.
Okay.
But I gotta go with OSL. They're playing the toughest schedule out of a lot of these teams. So I could say Brooklyn Collegiate.
Okay.
But are they going in this? They playing those teams. And it's not knocking anybody.
No. With respect to that, let's educate the people. The PSAL and the CHSA are allowed to play a certain amount of games non-league.
Got you.
Right, I believe it's 7.
Got you.
And in that non-league schedule, you can go out and play any school that's in the National Federation of High School, the NFHS.
Got you.
So basically, a CHSA can play any school in the country, and that's in New York. So if you go out of state, a prep can play against a traditional high school depending on the state.
Got you. Makes sense.
If they go to City of Palms, they could play against Oak Hill, who's a non-traditional school.
Makes sense.
They could play against an OSL out of state, but St. Ray's and it's just different rules. So they're restricted, and I know some of those coaches would love to go out and play.
Absolutely.
But you got to be really strategic about scheduling when you're at a traditional high school. OSL is different. And that's why they go out and they get on the road. You know, and with respect to that, another kudos to the staff and the coaches. The kids have to be really disciplined, man, with that much travel. Academics, I know they're in the classroom, they're on the road. I only know this because I speak to the coaching staff and the people there about the importance of what it takes to make sure these kids are eligible and all good. So, with respect to that, I just wanted to educate a little bit about, you know, the how, the why. And I'm not disputing your team of the year. Team half year team.
Half year.
But you know, let's shout out some other teams that are doing
beautiful.
well.
Let's do it.
Brooklyn Collegiate, as you mentioned.
Definitely.
Stepinac.
Definitely.
Having a great season. St. Ray's.
St. Ray's. Without their best player.
Having a great season. Lehigh is killing it.
A word?
Oh man, Lehigh's. Man, they got some high majors over there, and they've been good for a really long time. And they haven't missed a beat. They're ranked in the top 25 in the country.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so in this area, Lehigh, Stepinac, OSL. Well, the last ranking didn't have OSL in it. I don't know what USA Today is doing, but it's been since December. But those teams were, and Roselle Catholic, just in the tri-state area, there's a lot of teams that are being nationally recognized.
Gotcha.
For what they've done. So you got Team of the Year, OSL, Player of the Year,
Khalil Brantley.
Yeah, with some runner-ups and some asterisks. Freshman of the Year, Jameer Tripp. Coach of the Year, Peter Way. I mean, I like those awards. Surprise Team of the Year, TMA, Thurgood Marshall.
TMA, Thurgood Marshall.
Hey man, any parting thoughts about what you want to see for the rest of the season that's gonna wind up going into this new year 2020 into March Madness, my favorite time of the year?
Yeah. I'm just looking forward to them hooping.
Yeah,
that's it. You know, and I'm more looking forward to make sure you check out that next show when E really goes into detail about like the AAU, you know, a lot of information that parents are looking for but they can't find. Our next show is going to really be informative, so make sure you check that next show out.
For sure.
Sorry to cut you off and give a little, little promo here, but
it's all good, man. That's why we're here. So, in parting, man, I just want to say, first of all, thank you.
Thank you.
For the amazing work you do.
Appreciate you.
Extending yourself and always being available and professional and consistent for making sure that our platform stays relevant and active. Man, we've done over 60 shows in a row. We haven't taken a break. We try to bring content for the people to be able to consume and educate. And I'm not doing any editing, guys. I show up, I try to do my thing, I make my contribution. So the directorial, the production, the editing, that's all this man.
I appreciate that. Thank you, man.
You know,
but you do the research and you
of course.
And he is producing.
Of course, man, but you know, I just want to give credit where credit is due.
That's why I'm giving it back.
Thank you.
You know, we don't take kind of, the compliments, bro.
Thank you, man. So
we like to get it done.
In closing, man, thank you to all of the people. Keep hooping.
Yes, sir.
We're signing out. This is E. Jones.
Black Elvis, thank you, man.
Bottom to the top.
Thank you. Subscribe, BCOM TV. Log on, BCOM TV. Log on, bottom to the top hoops.com.
E. Jones, Black Elvis.
We out of here.